What's up, everybody? It's Corbin, the screaming extraordinaire. But in all seriousness, I am gonna teach you guys something pretty cool today. What is it, you may ask? Well, it's something I've been doing for about 5 years now, and that is screaming. Now, I know what you guys may be thinking. Oh, that's the devil's music. Heavy metal, burn the records. Burn the records. But believe it or not, screaming is a vocal style that's used in many genres, from metal to even blues. The use of a screamed or distorted vocal was first used in the late 1960s by artists such as Robert Plant and Ian Gillan. And even though they used it in kind of more of a gritty sound to try to get a little oomph to their vocal, they still used a form of scream. Fast forward 20 years and we have thrash metal. This is a music genre that mixed heavy metal and hardcore punk and kind of derived the screaming sound that we have in today's modern metal. In 2007, a Swedish man actually applied for a disability because of his metal addiction. He ended up going to over 300 gigs a year. That's crazy. Now, before I get into the steps on actually how to scream, let's move into the vocal booth. So, now that we're in the vocal booth, here are some of the steps you're going to need in order to scream. First of all, we're going to be using our diaphragms. It's a little part right here, right under your chest. Some people use their throat, but it's super bad for your voice. I do not recommend it, and it doesn't even sound as good. So step one, you know how sometimes when your parents make you mad and you're just like, ugh, you know what I mean? Well, that's actually the first step on how to scream. You see, we're going to make this like that. You're going to push it from your diaphragm. Don't use your throat. Just let it come out naturally, like you're genuinely upset. After this, we're going to form our mouth into an O shape. So like that. It's going to create this kind of a sound. You kind of sound like a gorilla, I'm not going to lie. Step 3. You're going to put some power behind your diaphragm. You know, for some singing notes, you need more power. The same applies with screaming. To really get that gritty sound in your face, you're going to need a lot of air. So fill your stomach up like a balloon in your diaphragm, right underneath your chest. And you're going to make that same noise, but with a lot more power behind it. So it's going to turn into something like this. Ooh. Okay, I know screams sound really weird by themselves, but at the end of the video, I promise I'll show you some with some music. That's really all the scream is just power behind like a sigh. If you're wondering, the way people's pitches change, so let's say high screams, mid screams, all you have to do is move your mouth. For instance, when you sing, when you're trying to hit a high note, your throat opens, your mouth opens really wide, and you hit a high note. When you're trying to hit more of a lower note, your mouth is usually a little smaller. The same applies with screams. Low screams, small mouth. High screams, big mouth. Except for some occasions. Here's an example of the same scream we just did, which was the low, with my mouth kind of in a peanut shape. This will create a mid scream. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound the best, but you know, mid screams are kind of meant to be harsh and mid-ranged. Now, if you open your throat a lot, and this takes a lot of power, a lot of practice, don't hurt yourself, guys. This is a high scream. It's the most demanding out of the 3 screams. It sounds a little something like this. Again, I know it sounds really weird on raw, but I'll show you some examples with some music. So here's some example with some music. So, whether you want to be the most brutal deathcore vocalist out there, or maybe just add a little bit of grit to your voice, you can really fit screaming into almost any genre, if not every genre. I hope you guys found this really cool and exciting, kind of delving into what I like, and I hope it's not as weird as it used to be to you. Anyway, see you guys later. Stay awesome.